So it's finally happened. Paul Pogba has made his £89 million move to Manchester United. I've been sitting on these stats for a while, so will he be a good pick for your FPL sides? And will he do well in the Premier League? All coming up next. What's up guys, and welcome to JNO United, bringing you the best in football news, entertainment and games. And usually today I would say something along the lines of, if you're new around here, make sure to subscribe. But instead, I'm going to quickly, before we get into this player analysis, just say thank you so much for all the support on 30 days of FPL. We hit 1,500 subscribers last night, and that means I doubled my subscriber base in this 30 days of FPL. So thank you so much for all the support. We're in the last week of 30 days of FPL. I didn't think I'd get this far, and a lot of that is down to you lot driving me to get these videos out. All the support has been absolutely incredible. Unfortunately, the Rate My Teams, a couple of issues with YouTube because apparently your tweets to me aren't my property, so it gets a little bit complicated. There hopefully will be one tomorrow where I will do 4 teams, and then, and again I might be shooting myself in the foot here, on Saturday the plan is right now to do a live stream before the Premier League kicks off where I will rate anyone's team that turns up on the live stream. So put it in your diaries. Hopefully I will start around 10 o'clock, but we shall see, just after I feed my daughter. So maybe 10:15, but hopefully I'll live stream and rate as many teams as I can. So turn up to the live stream if you're available, and I will rate your side if I haven't rated it already in one of the 2 Rate My Team episodes. And finally, I'm blabbing on a bit before the player analysis, but if you haven't told your friends yet about this channel, go and tell them. Share this video, share any of my other videos. Let's see how high we can get before the Premier League starts. Anyway, all that aside, let's finally look at one of the biggest transfers this summer, Paul Pogba to Manchester United. Now, the big question is anyone worth 89 million? I would say maybe Ronaldo and Messi are worth 89 million. I personally am of the opinion that Paul Pogba is not worth that much money. I'm not saying he's not a great player. I think he could be one of the best midfielders in the next decade, but 89 million is a lot of money, and I think for that you could have got 2 world-class central midfielders, which I think would have made Manchester United stronger as a whole. And also, who wants to spend 89 million on a player that you had on your books already and you let go on a free? But that being said, Paul Pogba is a great midfielder and he will strengthen that side. You now have Pogba sitting behind the likes of Mkhitaryan, Martial, Rooney and Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Now tell me that doesn't sound like a good team. Now, a lot of things have been said about the Serie A, how it's a one-sided league. Juventus have dominated that league recently, but I always look at it going, yes, other foreign leagues do have more of a hierarchy of 1 or 2 or 3 teams that will win the league and no one else does. But you could have said that about us before last year. Outside of the top 4, did you really see anyone else winning the league? No, until last year when Tottenham and Leicester both smashed the top 4. I think you could have said that about our league. Maybe a few more teams were in that top elite clubs, but I still think we were, until last year, a very similar division to a lot of the foreign leagues. And I think some of the foreign leagues, their second tier teams like Sevilla and so on, are actually just as good as ours. So I don't see how everyone can be like, our league is the best in the world, our weaker teams are better than everyone else's. But I'm going off on a rant now. Either way, Pogba going to Manchester United automatically makes their team better, but will he be an asset for FPL players, and will he hit the ground running? Let's have a look at his stats at Juventus to see if we can see any trends that would suggest how he may play in England. So in the 2015-2016 season, it was probably his best season for Juventus. They managed to win the league again. Napoli are really their only challengers that season, but he had 33 starts last season, and in those starts he got 8 goals and 12 assists, which is good for those fantasy football players amongst us. It means that his point total would be decent depending on his price. Of course, Riyad Mahrez would have outscored him last season, and this season I can imagine the likes of Kevin De Bruyne and Mkhitaryan may get more goals and assists than Paul Pogba, but that is a decent return for a central midfielder. One of the downsides in last season though, which I've added into the stats, is he had 10 yellow cards, and yellow cards lose you points and also means he would have been suspended a couple of times in the season. His shots per game was 3.5 for a central midfielder. That is very impressive, but I would have liked to see his key passes a bit better. They're at 1.5 key passes per game. And in total his average rating for last season was 7.81, which is a great average rating. In the 2014-2015 season he only had 24 starts, but in those starts he had 8 goals and 3 assists. His shots per game were 2.2 shots per game, and his key passes were 1.4 with an average rating of 7.67. Not as impressive as 2015-2016, but he had less games. We don't know if that was because of an injury or not, so maybe that is what affected his stats for the 2014-2015 season. Moving on to the 2013-2014 season, and he had 33 starts. And in those 33 starts he had 7 goals and 7 assists, which isn't too bad. Again, not the heights of 2015-2016, but that would have got you some decent points. Now again, is that enough to topple some of the other midfielders like say Hazard and Sanchez? I don't think it is, unless his price is cheaper. Now with all the hype around Paul Pogba, I can see him coming in at quite an elevated FPL price. So I'm not sure he's going to be worth the money compared to other midfielders out there, but we'll have to wait and see. I don't think he's actually got a price on FPL yet. His shots per game were 2 shots per game with his key passes at 1.4 yet again, and his average rating for the season was 7.65. And finally, his 2012-2013 season, the first season at Juventus after he left Manchester United. He managed to get 18 starts that season, got 5 goals but 0 assists. So you can see his career has been on a general uptrend since he moved to Juventus. Shots per game were 2.1, but his key passes were 0.8. So we can see that again, shots per game and key passes has improved as he has progressed as a player. His average rating for that season was 7.42, so you can see that consistently his average rating has been impressive. So with all those stats out of the way, do I think he'll be worth putting in your FPL side? I can't see it being a worthwhile move for FPL players, especially at the beginning. Now he could turn out to have a Yaya Toure season and be absolutely amazing, coming from deep, scoring goals from distance, running into the box at the right times. So it's definitely potentially a move we'll have to make in the season, but it's definitely something I wouldn't jump on straight away. His stats are decent, but they're not going to be the same as an attacking midfielder's stats. So I can see the likes of Dimitri Payet, Mkhitaryan, Kevin De Bruyne, Alexis Sanchez, even maybe some Liverpool midfielders like Firmino outscoring Paul Pogba as far as FPL points go. But as far as a transfer in the Premier League goes, I think Paul Pogba is a missing piece that Manchester United needed. But I just feel like if they'd spent 89 million on 2 good midfielders, they'd have been stronger as a team overall. Now I know they wanted some big name signings, but they'd already got Ibra and Mkhitaryan. I think they had their big name signings. I'm not sure 89 million was a necessity to spend on a player like Paul Pogba. If he has an absolutely outstanding season, similar to say Robin van Persie's when he kind of won Man United the league through his pure goal scoring talents alone, if Paul Pogba has that kind of season in the centre midfield position, I'll be proven wrong. And I don't mind being proven wrong, but my instinct is he will be a great player for Man United, but they could have bought 2 quality central midfielders and had an even better season. Anyway guys, make sure in the comments down below to leave your comments or your player analysis on Paul Pogba's move to Manchester United. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, I've been JNO, you've been awesome, and remember, it's all about the game. We hit 1,500. We hit 1,500. We hit 1,500. God damn it.